Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where I draft too many colors and try to get away with it. Today, I'm doing one of my very favorite things in the world, which is drafting the Arena Powered Cube. Before we get our table, I do want to call out a really lovely comment that I recently got from Alec with Pen. Really appreciate this message. I just wanted to take this moment to say any engagement is super, super welcome here at this channel. I'm trying to create a relentlessly positive, growth focused space here on YouTube for drafting Magic cards and playing Magic Sealed. I do think a lot of the people who watch these videos are not subscribers, so if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I do post a new video every single day of me drafting the current set, so there is a link to subscribe right there in the description. And I also always really like to hear from you, so comments like this from Alec with Pen, or just any feedback that you have for me, I would really love to hear, including telling me, as you know, right now there are multiple sets out. I'd be really grateful to hear what sets you would most like to see me draft. Okay, so having said that, let's jump into the cube draft. There's one card, honestly, that really jumps out at me here in terms of the power level, which is Ocelot Pride. I love playing with this card. 2 videos ago, I did a draft where I got a absolutely ridiculous sequence off with Ocelot Pride, where I made a copy of my Ocelot Pride, and then because that was a token copy, the Ocelot Prides started copying each other, and then you can just get 1 zillion Ocelot Prides because both of those Ocelot Prides are also copying the tokens that each Ocelot Pride made. It was awesome. Other cards that I would consider taking. There's only one dual land in the pack, which is a shock land, so not the highest on our list. And also, I do think Dismember is good. I like Dismember. You can put this in any color of deck. It does not have to be in a black deck, although of course it's better in a black deck. But really, we're just going to take the 1 mana white aggro card. Those tend to be incredibly good in this cube, and this is the very best among them, in my opinion, or one of the very best. Next up, there is probably the best removal spell ever printed in Magic, Swords to Plowshares. I haven't checked how exactly it's performing in this cube, but I'm sure it's doing great. It would be a very nice companion to our Ocelot Pride, so that's very likely what I'm going to take. I know last time around, the Crucible of Worlds deck was pretty horrible, and I unfortunately think it probably is not so good this time around, although I'd like to try. I do note Sunbillow Verge would be a nice lane to go with the Ocelot. I don't suppose we're going to wheel that, but if we did, it would mean that Boros is open. And finally, I always like playing cards like Miscalculation. Sin, I have found to be a fantastic payoff in the Reanimator deck this time around. This is a new card in the cube from Final Fantasy, and I think it's great. It's super sweet for Reanimator because it starts reanimating all your other Reanimator payoffs, so that's a sweet one. But we're just going to take Swords to Plowshares. Starting with 2 excellent 1-mana white cards is an amazing thing to do in this cube. And wow, we have quite a choice in front of us here. There is another amazing 1-mana card in Ragavan. Enough said. I think this is one of the most famous Magic cards right now, so I won't talk too much about it. There is also a Sage of the Skies, which is fantastic in the white aggro decks, partly because it lines up so well against white aggro, but also it's just great. I mean, imagine playing a Mox and then duplicating your Sage of the Skies on turn 2. That's just not okay. What else do we have in this pack? Flage, a fantastic Boros payoff, and Inti is a really strong red card. I think what I'm supposed to do, is take Sage of the Skies and just start cutting white aggro. Ragavan might have the edge on Sage, but it's so close, I really have no idea. The problem is we're passing Ragavan plus Flage plus Inti. So someone else is going to end up taking some sweet Boros or at least red aggro cards. But Sage could go in any other white-based aggro deck. There is also a Reanimate in the pack, so it's worth keeping an eye on whether that Reanimate comes back to us. But I think we just take Sage of the Skies and we're happy. There is another not okay level, just absolutely bonkers 1-mana white creature in this pack. It's not as good in the cube as it is in most Premier Draft sets, but 3-Bit Inspector is just a nice piece of glue for white aggro decks. You won't find it as high up in the pick order as Ocelot Pride, for example, or Sage of the Skies, but it's a good one. Amped Raptor, you can rip off things like Ocelot Pride, but I think it's much more conditional. Not I think, it just is. 4 dual lands in Edict. Magda is not a good card in the cube. So I'm just going to grab 3-Bit Inspector. Also, I really want to give an honorable mention to Tendrils of Agony. I really want to play that deck, the Storm deck, and make it work. I was not able to make that win condition work last time around. So that's definitely on my bucket list here in the cube. Okay, what do we have here? So One option for us is Sarah Paragon, which is another another white card, and it kind of goes with aggro. I mean, we have a lot of good permanents with mana value 3 or less. Another option is, so there are some very bad green cards here, like Mosswood Dread Knight, Pillage the Bog. We could take Otawara, which is kind of strictly better than an island. If we end up in blue, then we're happy to have Otawara. And I note also that a lot of red cards have been taken out at this point, it seems. Well, we don't know if a lot have, but there's no red card in the pack, so that's worth flagging. I think I'm just going to take Sarah Paragon. One thing I know is I really want to play white, so I might as well take it. I'm feeling a little bit on the ropes here of just taking the last white card out of this pack, but I don't see a whole lot of other direction there. So there are a few cards in here that I've been pretty wrong on. So one thing is Mox Opal can be sweet. Mox Opal can be sweet. I have seen no signals that Artifacts is where we're supposed to be, though. Barrogoyf and Emperor of Bones are both sweet. I think Emperor of Bones is doing better than it was last time around, so I don't know if this is just a little bit of data making it look better just by variance or not. Barrogoyf, I'm confident, is a good card, and there is this edge case where you can get the Lurgoyf deck, where whenever a Lurgoyf enters, you have a bunch of triggers. This one doesn't pay off other Lurgoyfs, though, does it? It's just the other Lurgoyfs that pay it off somehow? Yeah, okay. I think I'm more likely to want Barrogoyf than Emperor of Bones. We did see a Reanimate. It's not like we're going to play all these white aggro cards and Reanimate, but I think I'll take this over Touch the Spirit Realm. In this pack, there is a, whatever, reasonably strong Boros card. I don't see anything else impressive in the pack. I think 3 steps ahead is, permission cards are always nice in Cube, but I think it's a little bit tricky when you have to have double blue pips to get the counter off. Hymn to Turak, I think, is disappointing. Yogg's Will also is, you need exactly the right setup. A Currency Converter is a nice one, so I think this is an interesting judgment call. We should take Lightning Helix if we think we're going to end up, if we think there's any chance of us ending up in Boros. We should take Currency Converter if we think we could end up running those artifact cards. If we're going to wheel one of the artifact cards, we've only really seen one, and then get a bunch of mana and then try to go off with it. I think Lightning Helix is more just transparently good. It's more of just a basic good card. Okay, so I would definitely say that red is getting completely cut. I think we're probably not going to end up in Boros. But I still see encouraging signs that Boros itself is actually open, or let's say white-based aggro seems to be flowing okay. I think someone might be in like blue-red or green-red, or no, not green, but blue-red, or also not black-red, but not white-red next to me. So I think I'll take the Lingering Souls. If we're playing Barrogoyf, you can imagine that we put together some kind of aggressive white-black deck with this. And wow, I mentioned Dismember is a favorite card for me. I think Dismember is well worth playing if we're going to be in a black-based deck. One thing that you always really want to be able to do in the cube is quick interaction, and this is a 1-mana interaction spell. Having said that, Elspeth Stormslayer is just amazing. Like, this is a huge payoff for being in white. This is a bomb and a half on its own. So while flagging how good Dismember is, I think we're just going to take Elspeth. Often 5-mana cards are not, exactly where you want to be, but Elspeth is exactly where you want to be. I always want to make Memory Jar work, but I don't think that that's where we're at exactly. And Sunbillow Verge Wield. And remember, we saw, Joshua is not much of a signal, but okay, it is kind of a signal. We saw Joshua recently. What this says to me, Sunbillow Verge wheeling, and all of the white that I've been getting, and getting Lightning Helix, and getting Flage back, which isn't that card amazing? I think last time around it was doing really well. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe Flage is actually not that good. Am I wrong? I don't know. I think Flage has to be good, right? It is immediately a Lightning Helix for 1 more, and then it has such a higher ceiling. I'm going to take Flage over Inti, because if I'm playing red, I'm also playing white. I guess I'll take an Amped Raptor just to kind of stake my territory. I don't think I want to be playing white-green enough to speculate on that Savannah there. And I'll take a Bankbuster and just pass some cards that might put other people. Well, I'm actually surprised to wheel Touch the Spirit Realm. I was wondering if maybe I should have taken that last time that I saw it. And actually, Restless Fortress is kind of nice if I don't make it into Boros. So what I was saying is the thing that this says to me is that Boros itself is open. I thought that red was cut, but actually we just got a bunch of red cards back. So it's an interesting situation where if you believe someone close to your right is taking red, but the white is flowing, then one thing you can do is try to pick up some red from the left and then assume or be pretty confident that you're going to get your white cards in pack 3. So even though you know you're cut on one of your colors, you can just say, okay, I'm going to get so much white in the course of this draft that I'm fine. Having said that, it really just looks like Boros period is open. And I would say we have 3 options in this pack. I'm always a Mana Tithe fan. It's not like something to write home about, but it's a good card. And I would say the same thing about Talia. However, I think what we might want to do is just take Bloodstained Mire, which fixes us, well, it fetches red for us. And if we decide we do, for whatever reason, want to play a black card, then it can fix us into black. I don't think that's very likely, but I like this. I'm very curious about how good Orcish Bowmasters is going to be. I suspect quite good, but I don't think we necessarily want to be white-black in this situation. Here, it's not going to be Prismatic Ending, and I think Containment Priest is very much a card that you are supposed to board in. So I wonder if we take perhaps Windswept Heath, something like that, and you could imagine hopefully us getting a red-white original duel at some point in the course of this draft. I mean, who the heck knows if that's going to happen, but it very well could. I would say the other option that we have here is Grim Lavamancer, which I think is just like a perfectly fine card. And I mean, we could also take Prismatic Ending, but this is not going to be the Prismatic Ending deck, right? So I think I'm just going to take the Windswept Heath. I'm going to hope to wheel Grim Lavamancer. Leyline Binding is not really where this is at. Embereth Shieldbreaker is more of a sideboard card. Manamorphose is more of a combo card. So let's just take the fetch land. I'm perfectly happy with that. If you've never played with Parallax Wave before, you should. This is one of the absolutely nuttiest cards they've ever printed. The idea of Parallax Wave, so you play it and it has Fading 5. You can remove a Fade counter to exile a creature. When it leaves the battlefield, they get their creatures back. So a few things that you can do with this. Number 1, this is a falter or something. Target opponent's creatures cannot block this turn. You play it, you exile 4 blockers, and in an aggro deck, you just crack through with absolutely everything and win. That's our most likely use case here. The other thing that you can do with it is you can flicker a bunch of your own stuff. If you have a bunch of enters the battlefield effects, like on Thraben Inspector or what have you, then you can duplicate those effects. The third thing to do with this, the classic one, which I don't know how well supported it is in this cube, but this is the classic use in, like, if you've played with it in pre-modern, for example, is to stifle the effect when it comes back in, and then people don't get their stuff back. But I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do that. Here, we did exactly what I said we were dreaming that we would do, which is wheeling this, or finding this plateau at some point, being past it. I will note there is an amazing bomb in this pack, which is Fractured Identity. Absolutely nutty card. You exile a non-land permanent, and then everyone else makes a token that's a copy of it. So in other words, I can exile your thing, and then I get it. It's like a super control magic, because I also get whatever like enters effect it has, for example. But having said that, Plateau is amazing for us here. It means that Bloodstained Mire and also Windswept Heath are going to fix us into red-white, which really decreases the chance of us having any kind of mana problem. So I'm going to very happily snap that up and just be very happy. Elegant Parlor would be a really nice one to pick here. I think Elegant Parlor would be, the reason to take Elegant Parlor is it's also a Mountain Plains, which means that your Bloodstained Mire and your Windswept Heath will both fix you into both of your main colors. The downside of it is it comes in tapped, so you're paying 1 life for the fetch land, but then the thing comes in tapped anyways, so it's not, I mean, Plateau is a card that we're much happier to have for that purpose. But anyways, having said all of that, that was a bit of a digression because Mother is the mother of us all. I'm absolutely taking Mother of Runes, one of my favorite cards ever printed. It just makes it so hard. It's just so hard to play around. And we really want 1-drops. Good 1-drops is where this deck thrives. If you're not already playing good stuff by turn 1, you kind of feel like you're behind in this deck. You're like, I'm supposed to be the aggro player, and you're going off on whatever journey you're going off on turn 2 and turn 3. I need to already have something impressive down. Okay, I have not tried Legend of Yang Chen yet. It could be good as like a curve topper, Elspeth style curve topper. I have no idea how it's performing, but I'm certainly not playing Day of Judgment, Tribal Flames, or Batterskull, or any of this other stuff. I suppose I could take Blackcleave Cliffs to splash into Lingering Souls, but let's at least see how good this Legend of Yang Chen is. Another Wrath of God? Didn't we just see Wrath of God? Are there multiple? Are there multiples in this cube? I didn't realize. Didn't we just see Wrath of God? Maybe we just saw Day of Judgment. That's probably what happened. Okay, I really do want more creatures, and I'm actually getting pretty nervous about the lack of creatures that I've seen so far. I would say we have a choice between Fiery Confluence, which I do not think has any place in our deck, and Hallowed Fountain. I guess I'll just take Hallowed Fountain. It happened to me recently that I had a Boros deck where I opened a, actually I was past a Ancestral Recall pack 3. So, you know, I mean, you can sometimes really want these ways of splashing. I may just take the, no, there's a Solitude in this pack. I didn't see Solitude. I was looking at Overlord and Gideon and not totally certain that I wanted those, but Solitude is absolutely the card that we're taking. Solitude is awesome. So just take Solitude and be happy. Let's see what else. Mana Tithe, I was considering pack 1. I actually think Mana Tithe is fine. I think it has not done that well in the data as far as I know. Actually, you know what? I think I'll just take Thalia now that I say that, because Thalia is a 2-drop that's hard to block, and that's exactly where our deck is going to thrive. So I'll just take that Thalia. Okay, here I might actually just take the Prismatic. They're the Grim Lavamancer. To be honest, I have no idea if I'm actually red at this point. Like, look, we have 2 red cards, and those could easily be splashed, but I'm not taking Prismatic Ending. I'm not taking Containment Priest. Maybe I could take Containment Priest just to shut down, because I kind of think Containment Priest is a sideboard card, but it does actually shut down Reanimator. Like, there are cases, actually, you know what's awesome? I just noticed this. I've never seen this before. Containment Priest plus Parallax Wave. Isn't it the case that Containment Priest just means that all the Parallax Wave tokens that come back get exiled instead? So that's pretty awesome, right? Each player returns them. Yep. Okay. I guess I'll take Portable Hole. I don't really know how useful this is. Feels like it could be useful. Probably better than Oliphant. In fact, I'm sure it's better than Oliphant for me, so I'll just take that one. Sure, maybe Bleachbone Verge, again, if for whatever reason... Okay, it was a Day of Judgment. If for whatever reason I want to be splashing black, but I don't think that I do. And then Hazoret is, like, unplayable. I've tried to make Hazoret work. Can't attack or block unless you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. You would think maybe it's a good payoff for an aggro deck, but it just is not. Speaking of good payoffs for an aggro deck, Comet is nutty. This card is absolutely out of control. It's absolutely what we're taking. If you've never played with Comet before, let me tell you what happened the first time I played with Comet. I rolled a 6-sided die and triggered the last ability. So then I get to activate it twice more this turn, and it has 6 on it. Then I rolled a 4. Comet dealt 6 damage, then went -2 to my opponent's face. Then I rolled another 4, and it dealt 4 damage to them. So it dealt 10 damage to them the turn that I played it, and it was left at, I think, 2 loyalty. And then the next turn I just killed them by having the same exact thing happen. I rolled like a 6 into a 3 into a 4, and then just killed them right there. It was like 12 damage total from this one card on turn 4 in my aggro deck. So we are absolutely taking Comet, and we are just playing Boros aggro at this point. If I am once again past an Ancestral Recall, I'll probably splash it. But barring that, we're just Boros aggro. It's an interesting choice here. I would say our choice is between Monastery Swiftspear, which is a perfectly respectable 1-drop. Actually, we have a few choices. The best card in the pack has got to be Minsc and Boo. If you have not played with Minsc and Boo, this card is just cracked. The Minsc and Boo, I won't go into the details, but you just sack Boo, draw a million cards, deal damage to anything you want, and then just rinse and repeat. Do that over and over again. Having said that, I'm really not wanting to pollute my mana base too much. I only have 1 way of getting green mana. I actually am pretty high on Yura and Oski. I think it's just really good if you can have other cards with Enters effects. The Inweb ability allows you to bounce them and rinse and repeat your Enters effects. But after all that, I'm just going to take Monastery Swiftspear. We really just want to be pressuring the board ASAP. As much as we can do turn 1, we want to. Several options here. Balance is a pet card of mine. I love Balance, but it's not going in our aggro deck. The best thing to do with Balance, the thing that I love to do, is put it in an artifacts deck, because Balance does not name artifacts, right? So you can just have 9 artifacts left over after you balance. One of my favorite things to do. Mind Twist is another pet card. I love Mind Twist, but we're nowhere near that at the moment. Tursa would be perfectly fine. I actually would be happy to play a Tursa, but what I'm actually going to take is Reprieve. Reprieve is really, really good if you have board advantage. Then whenever they try to answer your stuff, you just Reprieve, gain tempo, and like one turn of tempo in the cube is often enough to translate into just winning. So very happy to take Reprieve. I will note this is a pretty creature light aggro deck. I would be very happy to get some creatures here. Green Sun Zenith, I think I've given short shrift to in the past. It's bad in, this kind of effect is bad in Premier drafts because typically your best target is not that great. And you have to pay, let's say, 4 mana to get a 3 mana value creature. So you're actually trading down on mana. So usually in Premier drafts, you don't want to play this kind of effect. In Cube, though, what I have had to remind myself as I'm starting to play Cube again this week is your best target is actually often great in Cube. So I think I take back whatever negative things I've said about this recently. The card I'm going to take is Flicker Wisp. I don't know how many things I have with Enters effects, but probably enough that Flicker Wisp is advantageous to me. And 3 mana in the air on turn, 3 damage in the air on turn 3 is perfectly fine. Can I play Nia? I don't know how good Aang's Iceberg is. I really don't want more spot removal in this aggro deck. That doesn't really feel like the direction that we're supposed to go in. So I think Aang's Iceberg is out. Similarly, Abrade is probably out. I'm not actually sure how much that manages to kill in Cube. Like the point of Abrade is it's like killing most things that you care about early in the game in a Premier draft set. We could also take Marsh Flats, but I feel very low on 2-drops. And I like the fact that Nia gets you some card advantage. And I may actually be able to activate the second ability. This pack is really bad for us. Not totally sure what's going on here. I guess I could take the Wandering Emperor, but I don't think it's very good. I might play it over, I don't know, Legend of Yang Chen's Touch of Spirit Realm, Portable Hole. Some of those cards might get cut. And the Wandering Emperor, well, it's kind of like a 2/2 on the turn that you play it. Not really impressive, but there's no land to take. I'm not a believer in Mightstone and Weakstone or any of this other stuff. I guess I could take Haywire Might. That feels very weak. I guess we'll just take Wandering Emperor and it will be okay. Oh, it hurts to see a Tolarian Academy here. It hurts to see Tolarian Academy here. I would say there are 2 credible picks here. Unfortunately, we don't have a payoff for Stoneforge Mystic. Obviously, if you have an awesome, expensive equipment, then it's wonderful to have. But I would say there are 2 credible picks. One is Figure of Destiny, which is just awesome. I know I played during the original Eventide, so I'm a little biased. Also, Generous Plunder is great, and Inspiring Vantage will be good for us, but I'm just going to take, again, good 1-drops. Good 1-drops are just the name of the game. And wow, was Boros ever open, because Showdown of the Scalds is bonkers. I badmouthed this card in the first Cube draft that I did 2 videos ago. Boy, I was wrong. I thought maybe this card is a little bit too slow for Cube. It is not. It is not too slow to draw 4, make all your stuff massive, and then crack in and win. That is just a good thing to be doing. Here, I don't like Oust because I'm playing a life game here, right? And I don't like Get Lost because it gives such a heavy reimbursement to my opponent for whatever I'm killing. I have been sort of impressed by Nova Hellkite. I don't think it's amazing, but, it certainly could be worse. I'm just going to snap that up. Here, I'll definitely take Yura and Oski. And I'll be very happy about that one. Well, maybe not very happy, but, fairly happy. Then I'll take Cathar Commando. I do think I'm low on creatures. This is a pretty bad creature, but wow. I mean, we could have had Pinnacle Emissary with Tolarian Academy with everything. Yeah, I'll just snap that up and it will be fine. Put a non-land. Okay, well, I really don't want a lot of spot removal. I don't think I need to be playing Eagles of the North. That's for some kind of like 5-color deck, which is not the situation that we're in. Then we'll take Deep Cavern Bat. We will take Jetmir's Garden, and we will take, holy smokes, we last picked an Inspiring Vantage. Okay, so look, Boros was the seat. That was definitely the thing to be drafting here. Let's clean this deck up and see how much that read of the table rewarded us. Okay, we pretty much, in my opinion, got basically the dream Boros deck, right? Our curve looks great. Our mana looks really good. Our creature density is awesome. Our card quality seems very, very good to me. I am even leaving some cards like Neo, which we can't necessarily activate, Lightning Helix, Yura, Portable Hole, Sarah Paragon, some pretty good cards. We can't flashback Lingering Souls without polluting our mana. So leaving some good cards out, it was actually pretty tough to make cuts. But I think, good curve, dense creatures, high card quality. I am on 16 lands. Not totally sure about that with the number of fetches and the number of 5 costing cards, plus an X spell. So I might go back to 17 if we get a little stuck. But anyways, this looks great, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Let's jump into game 1. And we have a game. Let's hope for a good hand. Looks perfectly fine, right? So we can crack this for a plains, play Thraben on the play, Cathar Commando turn 2, and then we have access to Monstrous Rage and Nova Hellkite if we get another land. It's not like obviously crushing, but should be pretty good, I think. And actually we don't get a plains, we get our original dual land because we are playing a plateau. The only situation in which this is worth is if the opponent just goes Wasteland. All right, Soul Guide Lantern. This is an interesting one. I typically would have thought of that as a sideboard card, but it can be a good card in the artifacts deck. I'm suspecting this means that my opponent is playing artifacts. I'm just going to flash in the Cathar Commando at the end of their turn. It does technically mean that they could like miscalculation me here or something, but I don't really think it makes sense to try to play around that in Cube. There's just so much, so much removal. I guess I will play the Nova Hellkite. It's a lot of damage. It's better if you can, kill something with it, but it's a lot of damage. Bonk. I do wish I was representing a little more damage here. But, I mean, they removed my 3-power creature, so I'm not sure that that's an us problem. Tezzeret, you say. I wonder what they're going to get. Almost certainly I do attack Tezzeret next turn. I can play Nova Hellkite on the following turn. Mana Vault. Oh dear. Something's coming. Okay. That's a good one, right? I'm just thinking. Okay, so basically my choice here is I can hold the Wandering Emperor to play on their turn, or I can play the Wandering Emperor right now. If I played on their turn, it's worse against counter magic. Suppose they have like a mana drain or something, it would be terrible for me. If I played on my turn, then it's worse against burn because I can just organize their turn to burn it out. Having said that, I think I'm just going to do this right now. Make a 2/2 with it. Not like the best Wandering Emperor you've ever seen, but just go ahead and make a 2/2. And this does give them a chance to do something about it, but the thing is, really the advantage to playing it on their turn is if you get to exile a creature from it, and I don't think that's what's about to happen. Coveted Jewel. This is a very aggressive situation. So, okay, I see. I'm going to get to draw, but they're just saying they don't really care that much. So, let's see. I have Flay. I really want to keep up Reprieve now. Chrome Mox, and then you can play something. Potentially. When it enters or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3. Mox Emerald. Okay, I'm a little bit less worried now. I was worried that that Mana Vault was trying to ramp into something dramatic. So they are kind of going off. Oh, they drew a card from Soul Guide Lantern? Yes, okay. All right, so I can play Sunbillow Verge. Let's see. So maybe I want to play Flage. I would love to get this Coveted Jewel. That means that I definitely do want to kill the 1/1. Because otherwise they're going to get the Coveted Jewel back. So I think that makes sense. I'm just going to play Flage. I will shoot the 1/1. I guess I could have attacked first and seen what I drew. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't think I'll exile. I don't think I'll swords my own Flage at instant speed. Okay, so I will get the Coveted Jewel. Draw 3. Next. And I'm just holding up 2 mana so that I can reprieve. And I will make another 2/2 and pass to end and get rid of plains, I guess. Oh, I have to discard 2. Oh, this is getting complicated. I'll get rid of a plains and a mountain. Yeah, I think getting rid of lands is fine here. The discard actually helps me afford my way back up to Flage. All right, they're going to take 1, it looks like. They take 1. I don't mind if they do. And Parallax Wave should be good for us. We have Parallax Wave plus swords. Okay, what does this do? When this, okay, improvise, your artifacts can help you cast it. When this or another artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it and it can't be blocked. Well, so I could swords that, but I think let's try reprieving it first. Yeah. Pass. Okay, yeah. All right, a quick game one. I feel like our deck performed very well. I was a little bit worried there when I wasn't putting that much pressure on in the early game, but we drew plenty of pressure and plenty of resources. So, all right, nice game one, and let's go on to game two. All right, here we go. Another good hand, please. Plateau into Mother Thalia with Solitude and Unexpectedly Absent. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet hand. That's a pretty sweet hand. I'm not on the play. Mother on the play is bonkers because the thing about Mother is she gives herself protection. So if you can land her before they have access to removal, you know, get her unsummoning sick before they have access to removal, she's pretty unkillable, and she makes everything you have pretty unkillable. This is just such a good card. I remember for a while in Vintage Cube, this was like, people, at least some people, at least I, thought of this as potentially the best card in the cube. Okay, so let's see. Pyrite Spellbomb is very awkward for me because it does kill Mother of Runes. The question is, do I actually just play Mother anyways? I think so, because if I ask them to spend their turn killing Mother of Runes, then I get to land Thalia. I suspect they're going to just kill Mother here, but that means that they can't cash a Spellbomb in for a card, and they spend their turn doing that. I play Thalia. This looks like a very non-creature heavy deck, so having Thalia down seems really good. Let's see if Thalia resolves here. It could be that they're holding like miscalculation or something, but that's okay. I mean, we have Solitude, Elspeth. Okay, counterspell, yes. That's fine. I will obviously not attack with Mother because she can give herself pro-red. You often do not want to attack with Mother of Runes. Okay, we do need to draw our second planes at some point. We have like, I don't know, 11 white sources or something with between all the fetch lanes and duels and everything, but we do actually need to draw it. But that's okay. We have a few more turns before it really becomes relevant. But we definitely are out of action here. I mean, just Mother and Swords to Plowshares. But we'll see what they've got. Countering our Thalia was a pretty big game, but this counterspell was going to get something sooner or later. Maybe I should be on 17 lands with this many X spells. Would I be better off if Unexpectedly Absent were a plains? Definitely. But okay, Sunbillow Verge. That's a nice draw. I'll play the Verge, and I'm actually just going to Swords that right now. Well, I suppose I could always Solitude it. I could also bounce it. Oh, actually, that's kind of nice, right? What if, no, this is a cast ability, so no, let's not do that. All right, I'm just going to Swords Pinnacle Emissary right now. I'm building up to something, and, you know, if I can keep them a little bit off of stuff until I hit 5 lands, then things are looking good for me. I like the art on this. It's really cool. Okay, Dak Fade In. They're going to make themselves draw 2 and discard 2, probably. Yep. Makes sense. I might just put Dak Fade In back in their deck, to be honest. Oh, they pitched a Skull Clamp and an Aether Spellbomb. That's really funny. All right. I mean, we're playing out much more like a control deck than a than an aggro deck here, but yeah, let's put Unexpectedly Absent back on top because I don't think they have a counter here. Very unlikely. All right. Yep, resolves. This card is so ridiculous. Yeah, they did that in the correct order too. Otherwise, they would have shuffled away Dak. Well, the correct order if they want Dak back, which they probably do. Wait, did they? Okay, yeah, no, it's still on there. Okay, so they make it 2/2. It is black, right? So I can block it. It's a black germ. Living weapon, make it 0/0 black fire exchange germ. So I can block it. Protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Yep. However, I think I'm actually just going to play Solitude. Oh, that Comet is such a nice draw. But yeah, let's probably just play Solitude. I actually want to just main phase this to not get to not get got by a counterspell. So let's just get rid of that guy. I mean, you know, they can always re-equip the Nettle Cyst, but I feel like this is kind of taking over the game, especially when I have an Elspeth and a Comet in my hand. I know they're going to draw a Dak Faden, and I'm honestly not super scared about that. Comet is just so ridiculous. What's the worst case scenario for Comet? The worst case scenario is make 2 1/1s. Actually, is it blank? Yeah, no, it can bring back Thalia. Okay, Saheeli. And what else? I always think Solitude has flying. It does not have flying. So, oh, becomes a copy, making 2 Pyrite Spellbombs. But I don't think you can afford to crack them both, can you? Well, interesting. Okay, we have an interesting choice. What they're representing is that they're about to play a land and they're about to play a land and blow up Mother of Runes. So the question is, how much do I want Mother of Runes compared to wanting Solitude? Yeah. If they play a land, they have to decide whether they want to kill Mother of Runes or Solitude. I suppose let's just protect Solitude here and force them to have it. What am I supposed to be? Oh, it's colorless. Wait, what? Hold on. That's so funny. That's so funny. I totally fooled myself. I've been wrong this whole time. They could have Pyrite Spellbombed my Mother of Runes at any time. That's so funny. That is so funny. Okay, yeah, foolish of me. So I cannot kill Saheeli. Maybe I do just play Amped Raptor. So when it enters, you get 2, and then exile cards until you get a non-land card. Yeah, no, let's see if we... Worst case scenario, I get some squirrels and kill Saheeli with them. That's so funny. So this whole time, they could have just killed Mother, right? All right, get some squirrels, and I think the team just takes out this Saheeli now. Yeah, that's so strange. They could have just killed Mother of Runes that whole time. Though somehow my brain just computed Pyrite Spellbomb as red. Like, it costs red mana, the art is red, it says Pyrite and Bomb. It's clearly a red card, right? That's so funny. All right, Ponder, looking for an answer to Comet, probably. Comet is a little hard to deal with. Forgive me for all my goofy thinking about using Mother to protect herself from Pyrite Spellbomb. That's so weird that they didn't kill it before. I guess they just don't care about Mother of Runes. Maybe they just don't have a lot of direct damage in their deck. Yeah, this is not the player who abraded me, so. Okay, draw 2, discard 2. I'm going to start... Oh, you got Echo of Eons. Okay, flashback 3. And there's a Sundering Titan in your graveyard. Okay, so this is a Tinker deck is what I'm learning. All right, so I'm going to do this first to see if I end up with squirrels. Okay, to a creature or player. I'll do it to a player. This is what I'm talking about. It's just like not okay, the level of damage that this guy does. So I really want to play this Elspeth. I don't want to get that shuffled in. So let's put a counter on everything. I'll play the Vantage. Next, I'm going to send these guys at Dak. And then I think I'll keep Mother back because they're probably about to draw a bunch of cards. They might draw in a Braid or whatever. I'm not too afraid of Sundering Titan. Phyrexian Portal might be something that they can get for Tinker. I don't know. What other Tinker things are there that I should be afraid of in the cube? Probably quite a lot. All right, I got Solitude back. Oh, Ocelot Pride will immediately go off. Also, Legend of Yangchen is looking pretty good. I don't know how good this card is, but feels like a card that has enough optionality and a high enough ceiling and a high enough floor. Like, well, 5 mana remove something is not great. Hard to evaluate the usefulness of the draw 3, but it's probably hard to interact with before it becomes a creature. And then when it becomes a creature, you get priority, you get to Airbend. Airbend seems like it could be very powerful in cube. So we'll see how it plays out. Comet is so nutty, just like deal 7. It like helped kill a Planeswalker and then dealt 7. That's a lot. Oh, Vivi. Yeah. So I can exile Vivi if they start going off. Otherwise, I can Yangchen it. So what's... Okay, you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then you can add mana. Let's just Solitude that right now. I really don't want to deal with VV. Wandering Emperor can go away, and let's just get rid of VV. And hopefully this is just a draw 0 situation for the opponent. Goodbye, VV. Yeah, Solitude is so good. VV seems sweet. I think it's going to be really good in this cube. It just seems sweet. It just seems like it's so easy to build around like blue-red spells. I wonder if their deck is actually a VV build-around deck after seeing that. All right, now we hold Yang Chen. I'm definitely going to play Ocelot Pride. Oh, this is sick. Okay. So first, let's figure out what Comet gives us. I want to get squirrels off Comet. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ocelot Pride. Ocelot Pride, you are going to do some work for me here. Now we play Ocelot Pride. I'm a freaking Ocelot Pride build-around player suddenly. I'm just going to hold on to Legend of Yang Chen. Probably I'll keep Mother back to protect my pride. I'm going to hold on to, I'm going to hold on to Nova Hellkite so that I have Unexpectedly Absent up. Going for the world record of, wait, why didn't you do, oh, I didn't gain life, of course. Okay, so it'll be next turn when the Ocelot Pride gets the tokens. Okay, so I actually should have given everything +1. I almost would have killed them there. If I'd given everything +1 and attacked with Mother, I would have killed them. It's pretty sloppy of me, but I'm not too worried. I shouldn't like play sloppy and be silly because it's cube and they could always have like return all permanents to their owner's hands, that kind of thing. I'm probably cursing myself by even mentioning that card. But, and they do have exactly the mana for it. So I should have just given everything +1. I got really carried away by wanting to make 14 tokens with Ocelot Pride. So forgive me, folks. I just got carried away by the incredible coolness and awesomeness of what could happen with the Ocelot Pride. It was for the content. But I forgot that I have to gain life for it to happen. But I have the City's Blessing now, at least. Permanently. Gitaxian Probe? Sure. Don't mind if you do. I could Unexpectedly Absent their Mox Emerald. All right, we got it. I definitely punted the game there at the end. My mind is not in it. I'm misreading Pyrite Spellbomb with Mother. I'm misremembering what Ocelot Pride does. So I'll just take a moment to collect my thoughts and then jump into game 3. All right, we have our third game. We're currently 2-0. Let's see if we can keep the success rolling here. We are facing, is TW mean Twitch? Is this someone else who's putting this online? We're facing Mythic player number 375, so I'm guessing this is not going to be an easy game. I'm going to go for Plateau into Monastery Swift Spear, I think. Actually, maybe I do just play Figure of Destiny first. Because then I can level it up next turn. Next turn is Monastery Swift Spear, level the figure. Well, this would be cool if this is someone else who streams or puts games online, and you could like go look at this game from the other person's perspective. All right, in with both. I assume the birds is not going to be blocking here, but I will go ahead and add one. So very likely whatever they do, I'm just going to Unexpectedly Absent it, and then we're just hoping to draw lands. If I draw all lands for the next 3 turns, I'm really happy. Or the next 2 turns. Ragavan. Make a treasure. Just don't pull a land off the top, please. Flage. Wow. Okay, that's fine, though. I don't imagine that they have the mana for this. Let's see if they do also have a land. If not, that Birds of Paradise is going to go Unexpectedly Absent. Tell you that right now. I can also level figure up. Oh, I see. You're going to wasteland my plateau. That's unfortunate. I don't love that. Yeah, and they dashed the Ragavan. Yeah, I don't love that because I really wanted to do stuff for mana, you know? So, let's see. So, can I put the birds on top? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that this is how this works, so I looked it up. I just wanted to make sure that I can do this for 0, and it goes to the top. The problem is they do now have a treasure. So I'm not sure if it's the right play, but I kind of like the idea of just having them spend their draw on that. I go in for 4. and then they can cast Ragavan, and then they probably do also play the birds with their treasure. They do get another treasure here, so maybe it wasn't the best play. Ragavan's pretty good. Maybe I should have played Cathar Commando or kept something back to block. Kind of like the idea of just putting pressure on, though. All right, I'm going to go in with both, and we'll flash in the Cathar Commando to block the Ragavan next turn. It's very possible that they can just remove it and keep Ragavaning me. I did pass a Ragavan, so maybe this is my lesson in why not to do that. It would be nice to draw some more lands. That would be nice. Parallax Wave seems like it would be good. Okay, Ulvenwald Oddity. Yeah, so Flicker Wisp would be nice here, for example. And then you just cast the Ragavan. Okay. End of turn, I'll flash in Cathar Commando. All right, can I get a land, please? No, that's not a land. Yep, this is looking really bad for us. We're not dead yet, but it's looking really bad for us. I mean, we're just stuck with a bunch of cards in our hand. Maybe I should be on 17 lands. I think I probably should be on 17 lands. I'm not sure what I cut. Something expensive, probably. Could be Unexpectedly Absent. This is the second game where I thought I would just be so much better off if Unexpectedly Absent were a land. So maybe I just cut that for a land, because I keep having that thought. Okay, you got Oust. Oh, Oust is so bad for me. Oust is so good for the opponent and so bad for me. I could sack my Cathar Commando to destroy Showdown at the Scalds, to have them not get a million counters. I really want to get to... Well, with one more land, what would I do? I'd Flicker Wisp the Ulvenwald Oddity. They're about to play a land, oust something. Yeah, this probably gets really bad for me if they are allowed to put a million counters on stuff. So just do that, no attacks in hand. But I think we're pretty much toast. I think I needed to draw lands, or, I mean, have more lands in my deck. And now you can just strip mine me out. Yep. I mean, yeah, Iso Explorer is GG. I'm not able to get to 17 lands. Okay, strip mine plus playing stuff from your bin plus a bunch of blockers kind of shuts me down. I'm going to take out Unexpectedly Absent, and I'm going to put in a land because I just keep wanting lands instead of that. All right, so we're currently 2-1, playing another very high-ranking Mythic player. A lot of high-ranking Mythic players are playing Arena Cube right now. All right. Starting with the Surveil, my hand is very slow, but I don't think it warrants a mulligan. I mean, I have Comet, I have a lot of interaction. My deck is not that aggressive, apparently. I do have a lot of 1-drops, but if I don't draw the 1-drops, then my deck is not aggressive. Oh, my opponent's just going to go off. Okay. All right. Yep. I think we're probably going to get, I don't know, a reanimated or tinkered out here, or comboed. There could be like a Underworld Breach situation that's going to happen. Looks like they may be doing Brain Freeze, actually. And I have just nothing to do in the first 3 turns. Okay, I probably should have mulliganed. I guess the hand is just too slow, because they can just do any combo. What did you get? 2 lands. I guess I'm glad I put more lands in. Was Hymn to Torak what they got? That would be interesting. I guess I just play Figure. I guess I just play Figure. It's a pretty weak play, especially after all this time. It's a 2/2 for 3 essentially right now. I wonder if they're playing more hand disruption than just Hymn to Torak. There's a Wheel of Fortune. Fatal Push. Mana value 2 or less. Yeah, okay. All right. You fatally pushed me. Let's see. They have mana for basically anything. Well, now they really have mana for anything. All right, so I'm assuming that this is going to get... Yeah, let's just play Flage just to get it in the bin. They 1000% have a counterspell, so Let's just bait the counterspell. Okay, they don't. They have some flash thing. They have something with flash, apparently. Let's see what it is. Or some instant recursion of some kind. I don't know. That was weird. I expected to get countered. I guess it was just such an obvious bait of a counterspell that they just said, might as well not. My deck is not as aggressive as I think, huh? I wonder if I should be playing maybe just some random creature that I have on the sideboard right now. All right, Ocelot Pride. I would like to draw a land. I wouldn't mind drawing a land at this point. I wonder what they're doing. Is this like a brain freeze deck? Okay, let's put that back into your hand, please. Thank you. All right. Okay, so what do we want? They're about to play a Grave Titan. What do we want against that? Probably Comet. Can I return anything? Yeah, figure. Probably Comet is good. And then next turn, Flicker Wisp Showdown? Or Flicker Wisp Monstrous Rage, I mean. Okay, I bring back... Oh, a card. It's a card, not just a permanent. Okay, I can bring back Reprieve. This guy's going to enter and make 2 2/2s. That's really unfortunate for me. Well, I can also make tokens. Flicker Wisp is so bad against Grave Titan. All right, I will roll Comet again. See what we've got. I make 2 1/1 squirrels. How close are we to the City's Blessing? Okay, so we get the City's Blessing, so we're going to get like a zillion tokens. That's pretty nice. How close am I to escaping? Pretty close. So let's see. I could Flicker Wisp a 2/2 token. Can Flicker Wisp a 2/2 token. I don't really want to attack with Ocelot Pride. Holding up Reprieve sounds good. I really want to be able to block the Grave Titan without my thing dying. I think I do want to play Flicker Wisp and have Reprieve up. They see Reprieve. But let's try this. Flicker Wisp a 2/2. Right? I don't think there's anything else. I could Flicker Wisp Comet later on, but that doesn't seem so good. So let's just kill a 2/2. And basically, I'm just trying to have a zillion blockers and represent enough damage. I didn't gain life, so I don't get to duplicate everything. I'm just trying to represent enough damage here that they're in trouble. I'll never get through ground attackers, unfortunately. Resolve. I'll just pass, block, and double block, I suppose. Just chumping Grave Titan, keeping Comet alive. Keeping Comet alive is very important. That is very important. I do have the City's Blessing forever. My Reprieve is face up, so let's just do that. Maybe they have a counter. If they do, I just need Comet to roll 4, 5, or 6. If I can roll 4, 5, or 6, I'm looking really good. Lifelink, but you don't immediately gain life. So immediately, let's roll Comet. Come on, 4, 5, or 6. 5. Nice. So I will shoot the opponent for 6 and then attack for 3. And that's going to do it. We got it. All right, hey. All right, so we beat Mythic Player 489. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. I did think that my Boros deck was pretty sweet. So it definitely has some game in it. I just need to not get in my own way by forgetting what all my cards do. And it looks like we are currently at 3-1. All right, we are back with the game. I changed a little bit. I cut Wandering Emperor for Portable Hole just to be a little faster, have a little bit more activity. And then, of course, I draw this hand, but I don't think I mulligan, do I? I don't think so. This is a pretty active hand. It has a lot going on. I just am not a fast... It's not a fast start. Yeah, but I think Portable Hole for Wandering Emperor, also not having double pips. I'm having a lot of double white pip issues, I think. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I guess I'll just pass. Technically, I can swords if they play something, like if they play a birds or something. Okay, or if they play that. So resolve, you look at my hand, and then I'm going to crack the fetch land, get a plateau, and then let's just go ahead and swords this guy. With Deep Cavern Bat, I think you always want to just spend your removal on it, because otherwise they can just take their removal. All right, they have studied my hand. I guess there's no point in flashing this in, because they know it's the only thing that I can do, so let's just do it. Would like to draw a land. I'm back on 17 lands. Well, okay, I just took a land out of my deck, but I have planned for this exact situation. I do have a lot of expensive cards for a supposedly aggro deck. All right, in with Cathar Commando. And then I could just play Flicker Wisp. I wonder. I think I play Flage. Actually, I think I just play Flicker Wisp as a 3/1 for 3 flyer. It's not a great card, but oh, maybe I should have played Flage to bait a counterspell. Okay, Remand is fine. It's not wonderful because it slows me down. I mean, it's not wonderful for me. It is good for the opponent. Next turn, I'm hoping to just draw land and play Showdown, for sure. Vampiric Tutor. Okay, all right. All right. I mean, they can prove me wrong about the tutors. It is an instant, so putting it on top, you know, matters a little bit less in this situation. I just think the fact that it costs you a draw makes it so much worse than Demonic Tutor. Like, if you look at Mystical Tutor is fine. It can find you, like, Time Walk or something. There are definitely decks I put it in, but even, like, Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall is not impressive, right? That's a 3 for 2 or something. Okay, Essica's Chariot. Is this a crew 2 situation? Crew 4. So I kind of want to play Amped Raptor, but I think what I'm going to do is, well, actually, I have 2 options. One is Flicker Wisp a cat, so that they can't crew immediately. Another option is Flage a cat, I guess. Same kind of effect, but Flicker Wisp leaves itself behind. Then the other thing that I could do is Amped Raptor, play something, and then sack Cathar Commando to destroy the Chariot. Honestly, that might be best. Kind of like the idea of getting card advantage out of Amped Raptor. It's a gamble. It's a gamble for sure. Let's see. I think I don't really want to sack my Cathar Commando. I'm just going to flicker the cat and not attack. Okay, you can crew the Chariot. That's fine. But it's when it attacks, right? So it doesn't actually do anything. All right, no attacks and end. Yeah, that's a fine use of a Flicker Wisp. I love the art of Flicker Wisp, by the way, ever since Eventide. I've loved this card. I love the I like markings on it. It's a really cool touch. Scary creature. All right, what have you got for me? I would love to get a land. I would love to get a land. Tireless Tracker. When a land you control enters, you investigate, and when you sack a clue, it gets a counter. Okay, all right. Yeah, you can crew Essica's Chariot, and you copy your cat. Okay, maybe I should have sacked the Commando. I'm definitely not double blocking here. Yeah, maybe I really should have sacked the Commando. Time Walk. Holy smokes. Okay, I should have sacked the Commando. I thought I was playing a tempo game, but my opponent said, tempo this. My opponent said, let me draw 1,000 cards, copy every cat, attack you for 16, put 1,000,000 counters on my thing. Just don't start looping Time Walk, please. Maybe that's probably what they Vampiric Tutored for. All right, let's see what it is. I will be blocking liberally with Flicker Wisp for sure. They're probably going to get 100 more cats. Okay, that guy gets a... So Tireless Tracker gets a counter. If they attack with Essica's Chariot plus Tireless Tracker, I will block Tireless Tracker. Oh, no, I won't because... Yep, because now you can sack a clue in response to make your Tireless Tracker have 4 toughness. This is looking really bad for me. Maybe I should be on 18 lands? Am I playing too many fetch lands? No, because Windswept Heath... Is my curve just terrible? Maybe my curve is just horrible. Maybe my curve is just absolutely rotten. Maybe that's the issue. Probably my curve is awful because I just keep getting stuck on lands, right? Every turn, every game, I'm just chronically stuck on lands. It seems really bad. Like even in this situation, I could play Parallax Wave if I could just have ever drawn one more land. Seems really bad. Kind of wish I had more lands. And I cannot even get a land from Amtraptor. Should I cut Showdown? Maybe that's too expensive. Or Elspeth. I'm just spending my whole life and it turns up nothing. Awful. Yeah, I lost this game for no reason. I need to have fewer 4-drops in my deck. Yep, you draw another card, get another counter on your tracker. Yep, so bad for me. I mean, I should pretty much just concede. The only reason I'm not doing it is Amtraptor does have first strike, so I can Monstrous Rage it. They can see that I have Monstrous Rage. Yeah, no, let's just concede and make our curve better. Okay, so here's what I did. I cut Wandering Emperor. I cut what else? Solitude and Nova Hellkite. And now I'm back to playing Unexpectedly Absent, which can be cheap. Yuran Oski, which can cost 1. I only have 3 4-drops and 2 5-drops. I mean, it really feels like this has been an aggro deck all along. Look at how many 1-drops, look at how many 2-drops. So the only 1-drop I added this whole time was Portable Hole. So I don't really know what to do about this chronic constraint where I'm just not drawing enough lands to play my stuff. Feels like having 3 or 4 5-drops and 4 4-drops or whatever it was. That's like not a very greedy curve. Some limited decks are playing 6-drops, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly I need to do something to get around this problem I keep facing where I'm looking at like all these amazing cards in my hand and I just can't cast any of them. So hopefully this just making my deck a little bit cheaper is going to do the trick. I guess the one other thing is I shouldn't have played the Flicker Wisp. I should have just sacked I should have played the Amped Raptor and sacked Cathar Commando to kill the Chariot, I guess. Now I know. I'm not sure if that's like generally true or just me overfitting on the results of that one game though. I mean, you know, but I am happy to see this 4th land, so that has to tell you something, right? The fact that I'm happy to get the 4th land has to tell you something. The problem is if I get a 5th land, I'm not happy. Maybe I should have the curve that I have right now, but only 17 lands. Oh, Swords to Plowshares costing 1 more is nasty. Okay, well, I'm just going to hold on to everything here. We'll see what they do. Probably I'm going to Swords Thalia. Actually, maybe I just am going to play Cathar Commando. When it enters, draw a card, then discard a card. So Flage is really nice here. Kind of want to just play Cathar Commando, then next turn Flage the Thalia. It seems like a good idea to develop my board. All right, pass to attackers. I'll take the 2, that's fine. Like, I'm also a very aggressive deck, so that doesn't worry me too much. Play this. Draw a card, play a land. Let's attack first. I'm representing 3 damage. When it attacks, if there are 4 more card types, untap a creature, and you get an extra combat. So, if they can get 3 card types into their bin here, this is in your graveyard, right? I actually didn't get to play during Duskmourn. It's like the one set that I had to skip in the last 2 years, so it is in your graveyard. Yeah, so that's like a a blank in my limited knowledge. I don't know that set very well at all. So I'll shoot that one, gain 3. Feeling pretty good about this race. Now my swords cost 1 mana again, and most importantly, my comet costs 4. Okay, all right, you got that. So next turn, it might be that we don't play comet, depending on what they play here. Intrepid Adversary, and you're going to pay the 2, I assume. So that's fine. So I'm not playing Comet. I'm going to play probably Yura. Not taking advantage of the Inweb, unfortunately, but I'll play Yura. See what you've got in your hand. Carnage Interpreter and Joshua. Card type other than creature. Well, not instant. Maybe sorcery. I don't think I have many sorceries. I do have enchantments, so let's not name that. And then not planeswalkers. I guess it'll just be sorcery. Okay. Next, end. When it enters, discard 2 and draw 2. So then this thing is going to get its... So they're good. So what I'm hoping happens here is they're going to get Delirium. They'll attack with both. I swords Intrepid Adversary, which shrinks the fear of missing out, and then I can block that. That's what I'm hoping happens. We'll see if that is what happens, but that's what I'm hoping happens. Discard your hand, then investigate 4 times. Yeah, because you're trying to get the creature in the bin. No. You don't have delirium. Okay, I'll just swords the adversary then. And then block that. All right, that felt good. That felt good. How many cards am I in? I'm not even close to escaping. I think I do play Comet. Okay, Comet getting a chump blocker, getting chump blockers is fine. Comet dealing damage is not the best. But Comet returning Path to Exile is really nice. Let's see if we can make that happen. So I'll activate the ability. Come on, just not 2 or 1. Okay, well, these things happen. I'm holding Monastery Swiftspear because I really want to be able to double spell with Sage of the Skies. And here I'm absolutely just double blocking the Carnage Interpreter. As long as Comet is on the battlefield, I feel really good, especially with the hand that I have. If they have some way of blowing me out, that's, they drew a shock or whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, no problems here. See what you draw. It made sense that they had to attack with the Interpreter first. They couldn't dig for something that has haste to try to kill Comet, because this thing would have gotten smaller if they had not done that. All right, come on, 6. Let's roll a 6. Okay, that's a 2. Oh, whatever. Worse things have happened to me. So I'll play Monastery Swiftspear and attack. I'm not going to be playing around whatever, board wipes or something. And then I will play Sage of the Skies, copy it. Reprieve, but do I make it copy? Yeah, I get the token. So now I can get another token. That's sweet. That's sweet, yeah. Reprieve on Sage of the Skies. Not the greatest reprieve I ever saw, but I totally understand why they did it. I totally understand. Makes sense to me. Okay, so I can Legend of Yang Chen Fable. That sounds good, right? So first let's roll Comet. Always roll Comet first, see what you get. Another 1, wow. Comet is just giving me squirrel after squirrel after squirrel. Yep, so I'm going to get rid of your Fable. And then I guess I'll just keep my squirrels back and go in with these 2. My opponent has a very high life total, I'm sad to say. All right, if I can get 2 more cards in the bin, then Flage can escape. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. The opponent is getting a little flooded, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the opponent's drawing as many. Oh, no, sorry. They drew 10 non-lands and 8 lands. Okay, never mind. Or something like that. Oh no, my squirrel team. No, Pyrokinesis. Not Pyrokinesis on the squirrel army. Oh, brutality. Squirrel massacre. Just, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. This Bomac Courier could get big. I need to keep back enough blockers for it. So sack it, and you get to draw that stuff. I will not have you draw 3 cards, thank you. No, thank you. Good try, but no. A 4. So I'll deal 8 damage to the face, I guess. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I guess I just attack with both. I don't have any non-creatures, so Monastery just stays as a 1/2. And yeah, I mean, suppose I have I see no reason not to run all this out. Suppose I have Wrath of God, then they're wiping all of their counterplay. And they're leaving behind Comet and the thing that's about to flip into a 4/5. So I'm feeling very comfortable here, and I can escape Flage for lethal. So I'm feeling very comfortable. I'm not sure what would have me lose here. I'm sure in Cube there's something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe Sneak Attack into an Atraxa into a Time Walk. Sneak Attack into Atraxa, play an island, Time Walk. Sneak Attack Atraxa, Black Lotus, Time Walk. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. Sneak Attack Atraxa, Black Lotus, Time Walk. Yeah. Oh, no, they don't have enough to do it anymore. They would need to have 2 cards in their hand. Oh, Biza. Okay. You gain 4 life. Yeah. 2, 3, 6. Okay. Yeah. You're not dead yet. You are not dead yet. Okay, so now a question is... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Digging for something. A question is, can I actually get Thalia and Swift Spear in my bin? No, because they can just block with a 1/1. Oh, and this has lifelink, so yeah. I also cannot double spell. Almost, I don't think there's anything in my deck that lets me double spell here. Yeah, that was a good turn by them. Hopefully Comet gives me something good. Can it bring back only swords? No, it can bring back Cathar Commando as well. That's not really helpful. Oh, not the squirrels. Not the squirrels. Okay, this gets 1 more in the bin for Flage, but Flage is exile 5 other cards. Okay. All right, in for 6 in the air. Right? If I attack with Thalia... Hold on. Maybe I can win here. The idea would be attack with Thalia. If I attack with the squirrels or the 1/1, they can block with lifelink and then just block with irrelevant cards, and they actually go to 10. So if I attack with Thalia, they cannot block with the lifelinker. So suppose they just block with Biza, right? Then Thalia goes into my graveyard, and then I play Bloodstained Mire, and surprise, I can bring back Flage for lethal. It would bite me to attack with Thalia if they just block with a 1/1. If they see the line and understand what I'm doing, which almost certainly they would because attacking with Thalia is so weird, then they would just block with a 1/1. Thalia survives, then they get to attack with Luris next turn, and they do get the life gain because I can't block with a first striker. So I would double block with some squirrels. I think it's worth trying. It doesn't matter that they can gain life next turn, I don't think. I'm just going to kill them more than enough anyways. All right, so I think I win if they make this block. Yep. I actually thought they would see what I was doing, but I guess it's a little obscure because I deliberately held the Bloodstained Mire in my hand until the end so that they wouldn't know that now I have 5 in the bin. So, all right, I'm feeling really good about that play. That was sweet. I feel like I got one over on someone there. No disrespect or offense to the opponent, just like it was, I feel like I found the line. It's really weird. They had to block with a 1/1 and leave Thalia alive, and in Magic you're used to wanting to kill your opponent's stuff, right? So they really needed to be kind of heads up to get around that play. Okay, 4 wins. I'm not going to be crying if I get stuck at 4 wins. We still had a lot of really good close games of Magic. We got beat by, and we beat very worthy opponents. So I won't be crying about 4 wins, but okay, we're obviously hoping to rattle off another 3 and trophy, especially with just the sweetness level of the deck that we're piloting. All right, we have our game, and let's hope for a really sweet hand. That's a fine hand, right? I put more cards in my deck, so I put more lands in my deck, so I should hopefully have what it takes to hit 4 lands to play this showdown. Verdant Catacombs into like Fatal Push or something would not surprise me here. I currently cannot play, well, basically anything in my hand, but Unexpectedly Absent, I don't have the second pip for, the second white pip. So we are really hoping to draw a few, like 2 plains or something, or a plains and a mountain. All right, okay, they're not Fatal Pushing me. They wanted to fix into red, and now they have everything. Okay. The land destruction in this cube is nasty. All right, that's a land. I'm perfectly happy with that. As usual, I'm not attacking with Mother. It's just not worth the 1 damage. Okay, let's see what you get with this. I wonder what they're setting up. Blue, oh, to counter. Yep, so they have miscalculation or... Nope. Okay. Mystical Tutor. Yeah, I was like, why do you want the untapped blue? Putting Flash on top. Well, I have Unexpectedly Absent, but I don't have like Path to Exile or something. Talisman of Indulgence into... What are you flashing in? Atraxa? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see what you've got there, I guess. Right? They're going to flash something in. What else could I do? I could just attack with Figure, give it protection from whatever they're going to play, bounce it with Yura and recast it and then grow it by 1. That sounds like a better play, right? That's a better play. All right. So let's see what you're flashing in. Nothing. Okay. I'm suddenly scared. All right, well, I will enweb my figure. Do you have a counter spell? Miscalculation? No, not miscalculation. Can't be counter spell. Okay, what is this? Atraxa. I knew it was Atraxa. Urtai. Well, I'll name instant, I guess. That makes my own monstrous rage and my unexpectedly absent worse. I guess they're wanting to sneak attack, so it could be enchantment. Yeah. Atraxa? Yeah, their deck is awesome. I assume next turn they're going to sneak attack. If they draw land, then they'll sneak attack and put Atraxa in. I don't want to unexpectedly absent an Atraxa. Okay, well, I guess I'll just name enchantment, even though it makes my Showdown of the Scalds worse. I'm more scared of the enchantment. And then I'll play figure. And then you're probably just going to flash in your Atraxa, I assume, because you can't sneak attack it even if you draw a land. Okay, you get a bunch of cards. See what you get. At least they can't attack me with Atraxa, right? Hopefully they don't get reanimate. That would be the nightmare. What did they get? Quantum Riddler. What else am I afraid of? Woodfall Primus with sneak attack. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, we might not make it this time, my friends. We might not make it this time. I still also need another white pip to play unexpectedly absent. I think this may be the end of the road. My deck was good, I think. I think my deck was good. I don't know. Okay, so what did they get? Woodfall Primus to go with sneak attack. Woodfall Primus to go with sneak attack. They have Urtai. Counter a spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. Its controller draws a card, or you destroy a creature or a planeswalker. Its controller draws a card. You can't do that one to me because of Mother. Well, you can destroy a planeswalker. So yeah, playing Comet into that is very risky. Oh my goodness. Do I need to be playing another planes? One more planes and one less of whatever else. So they cannot at instant speed disrupt me. I think I'm just going to try to go in for 7, right? Are they going to play attempt to remove it? Urtai Resurrected. It resolves. You can counter the activated ability and I draw a card. Destroy a creature. Okay, well, I'll give this pro blue. Now you can use your Go for the Throat. Bonk. All right. So I don't get to draw a card. That's too bad. But I think that's fine. Maybe we can somehow sneak through a win with Comet now that it can resolve. Woodfall Primus destroys a permanent and it's a 6/6. I mean, I've seen... Oh, not Broadside Bombardiers. Oh, that is so brutal. You can deal 6 damage to anything. What a card. Why am I always choked on lands this event? It feels very implausible to me. I don't know if it actually is implausible, but this has felt very implausible to me that I should get this choked on lands. Oh, you didn't sacrifice anything. Oh, no. You still can do it after damage. Yeah. Right. The whole thing about Boast. One of the reasons that Boast is so incredibly bonkers. All right, well, at least I got a land. So I will get a plateau. Now, let's see. So what they're going to do next turn, they can play Sneak Attack and put in Woodfall Primus, which would destroy Comet, for example. I could unexpectedly absent Broadside Bombardiers way back into their deck. Is Comet going to die to Broadside Bombardiers? Very possibly. How much do I care about that? One thing I could do is Flicker Wisp the Broadside Bombardiers, attack with Mother for 4 damage. The other thing I could do is Showdown of the Scalds so that I get enough lands to actually do some you know, some good work here. Getting rid of Woodfall Primus would be nice. They destroy one non-creature permanent. Comet can just go for the kill though too. It's the other good thing. Okay. I'm gonna go for Comet. I'm going for Comet. Just in terms of sheer damage potential, horrible draw. Absolutely horrible. So now Woodfall Primus has Trample. So I think I'll go in with these two. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. 6 damage would have ended the game right there. Okay, so if they find the land for sneak attack, then I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. Oh, they have. Oh yeah, sorry. They didn't even need to find a land. I'm just in big trouble. Plain and simple, I'm in big trouble because now they get to Woodfall Primus, killing Comet, which is not a creature. I just wish I'd found anything else. I basically was just putting a bet on finding Woodfall Primus. That's all that it is. And now this deals 6 damage to me, then you sack it, dealing an additional 8. Yeah, I mean, that's the saddest thing. Click, 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 click with the Woodfall Primus. Mother is so good. Mother of Runes is so good. So you can boast any permanent that you have, giving your Woodfall Primus, dealing 8 with the Woodfall Primus. I think Showdown was not good enough. Maybe what I was supposed to do was unexpectedly absent the Broadside Bombardiers because I knew that they had a lethal on me. Maybe I was supposed to unexpectedly absent the Broadside Bombardiers. But the issue with that is they're just going to sneak attack in a Woodfall Primus for 6. Well, they wouldn't have been able to destroy Mother either. Yeah, so I guess I just misplayed it. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Knowing that they had a lethal, I guess I was supposed to unexpectedly absent the Broadside Bombardiers. They sneak attack in their Woodfall Primus. They deal 7 to me, but they cannot kill Mother because she's immune. They're at 8 or something, and then I play Comet. But aren't I just losing in one turn when they draw Broadside Bombardiers, plus their Woodfall Primus is cracking in for 4 at least every turn because it has Trample? I guess I was just toast. I don't know. Okay, I thought this deck was really good. Apparently it wasn't so good, but have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.